Good morning, this is May Valensky with Driving Markets. So let's see what is driving markets today. So as I said yesterday, I've been saying it for the last few months, that with interest rates and inflation being the threat to financial markets, you're going to have a downward spiral. That's exactly what happened yesterday. The markets were actually up in Europe and up in the States. And then in the closing hours, they got sold off aggressively and ended up being down. In fact, I sent a message to everyone during the trading session that the markets will close down yesterday, and they did close down. That's not a prophecy. That's just the feel I had for the markets, and therefore the markets came off. And overnight, the futures also came off. As long as there is a threat of rising interest rates with the unknown amount of what those interest rates will be increased by, then the markets are fearful and investors are pulling their money out of stocks and shares and going into more solid investments. So you have, for example, the Nasdaq, which I keep going on about because the Nasdaq has been the leader in the last 13 years, is now in correction territory. What does correction territory mean? It means in bear territory. It's in bear neighborhood. It's likely to go down further. So it's down 12% off its all-time highs. I think the Nasdaq's going to fall between 30 and 40% from its all-time highs. To answer one of my viewers that called me yesterday and said to me that he knows who it is, so it is quite entertaining, that I've been a bear and all the time I keep telling everyone the market's going down, then all of a sudden when there's a bit of blue and the markets look like they're rising, I say everyone, oh, it looks like it's going to go up. That's not true. What I did say to answer this particular viewer is that when the markets at the beginning of January from the Santa Claus effect were rising, it looked like further all-time highs were going to be reached. However, that turned out to be a non-event and the markets turned around and went south. I'm always saying, since the markets are fully bought and fully valued, the likelihood is that the markets will fall, and therefore my emphasis on the videos and on the productions and with clients has been, in my opinion, in order to protect myself, that the markets will fall further. As long as we have rampant inflation, which is going up, wow, well, the headline inflation is relatively low at 6.87%. The underlying furnace of inflation is probably running at 11-12% and could even be running at 15%, which is not yet fed through to consumer prices. The 10-year treasury is, the yield on the 10-year treasury is also increasing, which means quite simply the price is going down to attract more buyers into it, that they will take up the bonds and have a secure fixed income on that particular asset class. The house builders, there's a shortage of housing in the States, and therefore housing sales did fall off in the States. The report came out yesterday that there's a lower housing sales. That's not due to any particular interest rate rise. That's just purely due to lack of supply in the housing market. That is also in the UK and it's also in the US. Be aware of that there is a shortage of housing, and therefore that could maintain house prices at a super high level. That area is not my expertise, but in my personal opinion, I think the housing market is also due for a particular correction downwards, but that's a separate subject completely. Regarding Bitcoin, regarding cryptos, they also came off yesterday. As I said, there is on Bitcoin, there's a major support level of 38,000, which I stated clearly yesterday. It could come down to that level, but there's plenty of buyers out there who are enthused and excited by Bitcoin and other cryptos, and therefore they'll probably support it going forward. I'm still of the opinion that you should be going short of the market. You should be taking out some puts. The problem with taking out of puts these days is that you're going to have a premium to pay because the sentiment is now looking southwards, looking down, and therefore the options traders and the market makers are going to be adding on prices or adding on a premium to the put options. Just be aware of that. You're probably better off looking to sell some calls, and that is the same to a degree as buying puts, but there'll be less premium on them as such. Okay, so if you need to get hold of me, contact me on WhatsApp, on LinkedIn. You can also subscribe to the YouTube. I'm pushing as many people as possible to subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can find me on Mayor Valensky Driving Markets. Subscribe. Also, please like the videos. I'm not getting many likes. The likes are 7, 8, 9. The amount of viewers, there's over 500 viewers that are getting this particular video, but the likes are around about 7 or 8% of that, which is not even that actually. We're talking about 1%, 2% of that. So it's some likes. So contact me on Instagram, LinkedIn. I'll be posting on LinkedIn as well. Remember, only trade with regulated firms. Beware of any scams. If you have any questions, queries, contact me regarding any suspicions, and I will do the research to see if that is a scam company. This is Mayor Valensky with Driving Markets. Have a good weekend.